My name's Juan Duran, and the way I got into woodworking is back in high school. I just took some classes as woodworking classes, and it was just natural to me. And did a couple competitions over there. Took first place on some of the stuff, and didn't have the money to go to college, so I just figured I was gonna start working, and got myself into the woodworking industry. And here we are now, doing cabinets. The first company that I started working for, they're located here in Chino, and that was, like I was 17 and a half years old when I started working there for that company. And we would build custom wedges out at the stores. And so little by little I started, catching on bigger stuff. I learned how to do laminate, for mica stuff, solid surface. And 2 years after, after I worked for that company, another company started his own thing, and I got a job offer, with them, more money, and I was going to be running work, so I took on it, and I did 17 years there, and I thought I was going to retire at that company. It was a great company. I started from the bottom, just doing little things here and there, and then they got into building cabinets for, I think one of the companies that they did work for, it was Rite Aids, and then from Rite Aids they moved on to Vaughn's, Ralph's, and it was a big company. I mean, we got to a point where there was about 120 employees, in the shop and installers, and I was basically running the whole thing for them. And all of a sudden, the industry just changed and everything started going dead, and they decided they were going to shut down the place, and I was out of a job, so I started my own company here. I just had my table saw, a little air compressor, a couple nail guns, a panel saw, and I didn't have much. It was just basic, basic stuff. And I mean, I struggled because I didn't have the money for all the nice equipment, and but with the little stuff that we had, we managed to do a lot of things. We were pretty good with our with hand tools and table saws, skill saws, and stuff like that. But once you start getting into bigger jobs and you're opening your doors for other projects, it's really tough. It's tough to compete, and it's tough to get all this production going just with your basic tools, with the table saw, your panel saw. I mean, it does a great job, but it's still not compared to having a CNC where everything comes out clean, and it does, it'll do whatever you and I do in a whole day. That machine will do it in half an hour. Okay, well here, this part of the shop, we have the CNC. This is where we have it all set up. As you see, it's got the 8 tool changer. It's a 5x10. We have our material that we cut all our pieces here. We have our dust collector. We have an older Laguna edge bander that pretty soon we're going to be upgrading, hopefully, to a bigger one and a newer one from hopefully Laguna again. And we have an old panel saw that we used to use a lot. Now it just kind of sits there, and we cut 1/4-inch little panels here and there, and that's about it. We don't use it that much. Right here we have our construction boring machine, which we use it, just for drilling the ends of all the parts, and then you just put it together. We have our our air compressor, rotary air compressor, and that's it. Here's a panel they just came off of an end panel. They just came off the CNC, got edge banded, and that's All you gotta do is just clean it up a little bit and wrap it up, and it goes out to the stores. You know, once we decided on the spot here, it's, you know, we ran all the power to it. Overhead, we had to run the air line, and then we have the dust collector, also Laguna dust collector, and it's, I mean, it's pretty quiet. I mean, it's loud, but not that loud. The only thing we had to do was move the vacuum pumps over to the back over there, because those are pretty loud. So, but it's pretty basic, nothing major. I mean, it took us, 2 days to run all our stuff and get it all set up and ready for the CNC once it showed up. Once it got here, I mean, the guys had it, you know, they wired it up. It was running in a couple hours. So you know, it's not a big deal, you know, getting it all set up for a machine like this. You just got to make sure you have the right electrical panel. You need at least a 200 amp panel, and other than that, you should be all, you know, it should be an easy setup. I was familiar with other CNCs out there, and the price. I mean, it's just, I wasn't going to be able to afford a $100,000 machine. You know, I just couldn't. I wasn't going to be able to make the payments on something like that. So we started looking around, and I wanted a 5x10 table with a tool changer, and, you know, started shopping around and went to Laguna. They gave me a demo, and I mean, as soon as I saw it, because I was familiar with the other ones, that's what I needed. It was like the perfect setup for me. You know, the table, the vacuum, you know, vacuum table, 8 tool changer, big old, you know, I upgraded to the 11 horsepower spindle, and it was just, you know, it was just what I wanted, what I needed, and it just sold me on it real quick. I mean, I didn't have to go back and forth, because you know, as soon as I saw it, that's what I was looking for. The price was even better than what I expected, so that was it. So here is where they bring all the other stuff and we put it together. Here's one of the cabinets that we make. It's called the bakery step display counter. It goes into the Bond stores or Safeway, and it's got a radius front, and then it's just got steps on the front, and then on the back, it's got storage on the back for it'll take a couple shelves, you know, some shelves on the back, and all the parts are cut in the CNC. And before it would take 2 guys to make this unit, I would say a day and a half, 2 guys on it. Now, with the CNC, it'll cut all the pieces, all the parts in 1 hour. It'll take another hour and a half to put it together, an hour to laminate it. So in 4 hours, you're done with it. Versus, you know, and it only takes 1 guy now, not 2 guys, a day and a half. So that's what kind of just like, we did the math, and it's like, you know, we hire more people, it's going to cost us a lot more money in workers' comp, more payroll, you know, there's a lot of things involved with more employees versus just you buy a CNC and you upgrade, you know, you move, you know, you're going to have all your stuff better. The machine doesn't need any vacations. The machine doesn't need any workers' comp. And it's just, it's a no brain to it. It's just simple math. It's a great machine. They came out, they did the training, which it was pretty, I mean, it was pretty basic for us since we already knew how to operate a CNC, and they're all basically the same. I mean, systems might be a little bit different, but it's all the same basic idea. So within a day, I mean, my son was already running the machine and just going at it. And they are going to be coming back to do a couple little changes as far as the vacuum on it. We need a couple more holes drilled on it so it holds the material down more. But other than that, it's a great service. There's a little baby now. Our money maker.